thank you so much for applying for my apprentice program. And I apologize. I'm so sorry that I have to put you on the waiting list. But we literally have thousands of applications pouring in every month, and my team is swamped. So we're trying to make some shortcuts to try to figure out, of all those thousands of people, who are the absolute perfect fits for exactly what we're doing. Now, it could be based on your location that you filled out. That might be the problem. Another reason would be under the amount that you have available to put towards real estate investing. You may have selected under $1,000. That's another challenge, because ultimately some money can make a huge difference in being productive in this business. And so I know that that really frustrates people when they hear that coming from me, of all people, because when I got started, I was homeless, living out of my truck, and you know the story probably. And so I want to explain that real quick to you. What I learned, one of the many lessons I learned from that experience, was that when you are flat broke, it is so difficult to do this business. It's kind of like not having grease on wheels. I don't know if you've ever seen this before. Rusty wheels. Every time you turn, it's so hard to turn. You can turn the wheel, but it is so hard. Whereas if you get that all greased up, it'll spin smooth. And so that's what's happening when someone doesn't have the grease, some money to put towards. So if you've got access to more capital than you were thinking, maybe when you filled that out, you were thinking just what you had in your bank account. But if you got access to credit, lines of credit, credit cards, those kinds of things, that can play an important role as well in your development. Because I'm not one of those people that says, don't ever use credit cards, because it can make a huge difference. Look, if a seller comes up to you and says, look, if you pay me $3,000, I'll give you my home. And with that $3,000, you can control a $200,000 house for $120,000. This happens. That makes all the difference in the world. But if you didn't have that $3,000, yes, our company does provide funding. But on terms like that, that's very, very difficult for us. The timing, the amount of the paperwork, all to do a $3,000 loan, and in the second position, very, very risky. We don't do that. But if the person has that $3,000 available, let's say a line of credit, that can make all the difference in the world. I got extra $10,000 to put toward the renovations on a deal that could make them $50,000. Makes all the difference in the world. So if you do have access to more capital than maybe the under $1,000 that you selected, feel free to click the back button and go back and refill that out. And that may not change anything. It may still take you back to the waiting list if it's the wrong location as well, and some other factors, but it might not take you back to this waiting list. So I encourage you to do that. Also, for those of you that legitimately you just have under $1,000, that's it, you're just tapped out right now, I want to encourage you to work hard in the other places in your financial life to try to save some money. I know that's easier said than done. I'm not saying that that's something that you can just do quickly and easily, but make it a goal. Make it a goal to save up $10,000, $15,000 and then embark. That's like the grease on that wheel. So as opposed to you having very little and you're trying so hard and it's so much work, get $10,000 to $15,000. With the right mentor, you can make all the difference in the world. Makes sense? All right, and I also have a great training for you, so you can click just below this link to watch a great training on the difference between creative and traditional real estate investing, as well as how you might be able to get started at a limited basis, on a limited level, even if you have under $1,000. I'll show you some techniques and some ways you could get going. And again, it's not going to be the same, but it might be easier than just the that I'm describing. All right, once again, thanks so much for applying for my apprentice program. Thanks for watching this video. Again, I apologize if you have to be on the waiting list. You may still hear back from us. Those that are on the waiting list still get surprised sometimes with a call from us. But thanks so much for watching, and I hope to be working with you soon.